This guy, Flash Thompson, he probably deserved what happened. But just because you can beat him up doesn't give you the right to. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
Welcome back to the channel. Now, I don't always take part in the democratic process. Now, if there's something important, I do like to go out there and take my time and go research what I'm looking at and make sure that I make an informed decision. Like if Mountain Dew has a competition about what the new summer flavor is going to be, I will be all over that. If Taco Bell has the new chalupa flavor, I'm going to definitely look into that, be voting for that. My favorite ones are probably when Doritos does the crazy flavored new chip flavor that they're going to be rolling out. I like to vote for that. I also vote for the NFL Pro Bowl, unless they ask for my email address. I don't like to give that out all that much, but I do try to vote for that. And the Major League Baseball, I basically just vote for the Royals and stuff like that. But today, there's something out there that's just as important as all that other stuff that I like to vote for. And I'm going to take my time out there. I'm going to help inform you about the candidates for this year's X-Men election. Now, we know that this big election is coming to Krakoa. They're going to elect a new member of the Quiet Council, and they're going to democratically elect a new X-Men team. It's going to be very exciting. Now, I have already spoken on the channel whether or not I think that is the best idea. Doesn't really fit the X-Men brand, but whatever. We're here. This is what it's all about. And I'm going to go over the 10 candidates, and I'm going to I'm going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to stump maybe for a candidate here or there. I think there's only one real, clear choice, but we shall see what you guys think. In 2021, Mutantkind will be selecting the first X-Men team of the Krakoan Age, and you are invited to take part in the election. Marvel's fan vote will be 100% responsible for the determination of the final member of the inaugural team. So cast your choice wisely. You have an everlasting effect on the future of the X-Men at large. Now, this is going to start at 12 a.m. Eastern on the 27th of January, and it's going to end at 11:59 p.m. on February 2nd. So you got a little bit less than a week to get your vote in. Now, I did try to do this. I hit the vote now. I'm too early, but we can still go over the candidates. I'm going to go vote, trust me. But let's go over the candidates. We definitely got some throwaways. It's almost like you remember when WWF used to do Taboo Tuesday? Where they would be like, hey, the fans are going to decide on the match. And it would be like, first, it could be a Hell in a Cell match. Your second choice is a burrito on a pole match. And the third choice is like a sleeper holds only match. It was like, well, of course, they want you to select the Hell in a Cell. There's only a couple candidates here I think they really want you to pick from. You can kind of see who they're pushing you towards, but I will go over the history and the details of these characters, what their powers are, the pros and cons of all of them, and let you make an informed decision. And I'm going to tell you who I'm voting for. I bet you can't guess. The first character is Armor, also known as Hisako Ichiki. She's a bit young for something like this. She's only 13 years old, but she is a Japanese fireball. I think she's only 4'8". She generates a psionic body armor that grants her superhuman strength and durability. And she was one of the surviving mutants of M-Day. She was one of the 27 that actually survived M-Day with her mutant powers in place. Obviously, I live in Asia myself. I'm partial to this part of the world. I think she's a bit too young for this type of position. I'm just going to put it out there. She's probably a little bit older than 13 in Marvel timeline now. Probably still too young for that. Although, she would be a good choice. Next up, we got Banshee Sean Cassidy. He is one of the vintage mutants from Ireland. He has supersonic screaming. He's also a gifted detective, seasoned undercover operative, and an unarmed combatant. Accomplishments: he was one of the members of X-Men Second Genesis that Xavier recruited to go and fight Krakoa. Remember when he ate the original X-Men team? He was one of the founding members of X-Corp. Actually, I think he was the founder of X-Corp. And he was resurrected before the Five even existed. He made resurrection cool before it was cool on Krakoa. Banshee is a good character. Is he a bit too old for this? I don't know. In the sliding timeline, maybe he's Maybe he's only in his early 50s. He's not like 70 or 80 as it seems like he probably should be. I know. I'm sure there are a lot of Banshee fans out there. They're probably going to be voting for him. I'm personally not going to be throwing my vote behind Banshee on this one. Just personally, but he would be a solid choice. Nothing wrong with Banshee. Next, we've got a wild card, Boom Boom, also known as Tabitha Smith. She is a teenage native of Roanoke, Virginia. She can create and launch bombs, explosives, and other volatile objects from her hands that range from small to giant scales. So she can blow stuff up, so she's aptly named Boom Boom. She helped the Avengers stop the Beyonder. She was mentored by the original Cable. That is absolutely a selling point. I like the original Cable. And she was a member of X-Force, obviously working with Cable. I don't think we're supposed to be rooting for Tabitha Smith. I'm sure there's some fans of her out there. Not exactly the highest profile X-Men that they're putting on here. But, you know, she does blow stuff up. If you want a member of your X-Men team that can just blow things up, then she might be the choice for you. Dark horse candidate right there. All right, let's get to our next two. Ooh, Cannonball! Samuel Guthrie, a New Mutant from Kentucky. He possesses the ability to bodily generate chemical energy and release it from his skin. He is a co-leader of the New Mutants. He's settled in the Shi'ar Empire with his wife and son. Obviously, he had returned to Krakoa recently after Sunspot and the boys borrowed the Starjammers, or they hitched a ride with the Starjammers, went to Shi'ar Empire space and returned them. They were about to be put to death, I think, but he intervened with his wife and saved them. I don't know. I think a lot of people like Cannonball more than I do. Is he really the right candidate for you? Is that who you want to put your vote behind? Samuel Guthrie, Cannonball, get out of here. Listen. He has dueling allegiances to the Shi'ar Empire. That's right there. Basically, that disqualifies him, in my opinion. Is he going to be, is he going to side with Krakoa, or is he going to side with the Shi'ar Empire when push comes to shove? You don't know. He's got dual allegiances. He's married to, his wife's from the Shi'ar Empire. His kid was born and raised there. I don't know. I don't know that he can be trusted with that. Now, that stuff is Forge, a character that I think is probably the most underutilized X-Men probably in history. He is a member of the Cheyenne Nation. He has superhuman intuitive talent for inventing mechanical devices. He invents really cool stuff. He's really smart. He also has a high mystical aptitude and has developed several magical spells. So not only is he bringing the brains to the table, he's in touch with his mystical side. He can conjure spells and stuff. He's in touch with his mystical side. I think that adds something to the table. He's also an accomplished athlete and trained soldier. So not only does he bring the brains, he brings the mystical powers. He's a trained athlete. He's like a world-class athlete, and he's a trained soldier. He can go all day, and he can fight. Is there anything that Forge can't do? Let me ask you that. Is there anything Forge does not bring to the table? And if you want diversity on your team, he's a member of the Cheyenne. He's a member of the Cheyenne Nation. He also accidentally depowered Storm, and she still dated him. So he's got game, people. Forge has game. He depowered Storm, and she still wanted to hook up with him. Is that not the man that you want representing you on the X-Men team? I think he's the guy I want representing me. And he was also a former government liaison to X-Factor. So he has government experience. He has worked with the U.S. government. He's worked on human-mutant relations before. He's essentially the perfect man to be on the X-Men team. I can't believe he's not there already. He should be on there already. It's a travesty that Forge wasn't on the X-Men team from day one. He shouldn't even have to be voted in. But I say to you, how could you not vote for Forge? Do you even know his real name? I don't. Because he doesn't care about that stuff. He's given up that identity. He's just Forge. Of course, that could be a Cheyenne name. I'm not sure. I don't know that I'm voting for him yet. Let's look at the other people that we can vote for. Who else we got? Marrow, Sarah Rushman. She was an underground dwelling Morlock. She has the ability to enhance growth of her skeletal structure. Basically, she can shoot bones out of her shoulders and stuff. As far as accomplishments, not much. We're not supposed to vote for Marrow. I'm sorry, if you're a Marrow fan, you're not supposed to vote for Marrow. If you are a fan, do it, but you're basically just throwing your vote away when you could be voting for Forge or somebody probably more deserving. Just put it out there. Yeah, I don't think Marrow's she's essentially like the whoopee cushion on a pole option in your vote for your Taboo Tuesday match, like your stipulation. Like you're not supposed to do that. Next up is definitely a candidate, somebody that I think probably has the notoriety to compete with Forge in a vote, an election like this. We've got Lorna Dane Polaris. She is the daughter of Magneto, and obviously, like her father, she has the ability to manipulate magnetism. She actually lost her powers on M-Day. She's a former leader and current member of X Factor. She has green hair. She's got a spunky personality. I will say this: the way Leah Williams has written her in X Factor, she's completely unlikable. I don't know. Should that sway you? That she's been written that way? She comes off as a hipster doofus in the current X Factor. I'm not voting a hipster doofus onto the X-Men team. That's not who I want representing me. But if you are a hipster doofus, perhaps Polaris is the candidate for you to vote for when the polls open for the new X-Men team. Let's put it out there. Maybe Polaris. I think that's the hipster doofus candidate right there. Next up, we've got Strong Guy, Guido Coruscella. He is a formerly wealthy orphan from New York. His parents died when they were hit by space debris. He inherited a large amount of money. He did end up losing it. He has the ability to absorb kinetic energy and use it to enhance his physical strength to above normal limits. He is a multi-talented actor and stand-up comedian. Okay. He's got a good personality, and he brings the joke. So I'm going to give him that. I do like that. As a side effect of his power, though, he possesses a bad heart, and he's had a heart attack. Do we want somebody on the X-Men team that's got a bad ticker? This dude could drop out at any time. There's a lot of stress that goes in with being an X-Men. You're out on missions. You got to go talk to people that are important. The guy has got a faulty ticker. But he was also the roadie and bouncer for mutant musician Leela Cheney. So, he knows people. He probably knows the game. I don't think we're supposed to be rooting or voting for Strong Guy. I think he's another one of those, falls count nowhere stipulation for your Taboo Tuesday. Essentially, you're not supposed to vote for this. But if you're a Strong Guy fan, I guess now's the time to let it be known. He could use your support. Next up, we got Sunspot, Cannonball's buddy, Roberto de Costa, wealthy Brazilian aristocrat. His cells have the power to absorb solar energy and convert it to various purposes, including flight, a power-up mode, and he can also become he can do dark solar plasma blasts. But he does need solar energy to maintain his powers. Do you want somebody out there on an X-Men mission? What if they have to go in the cosmos? What if there's no nearby sun? He's going to be worthless. He's just some Brazilian wealthy kid that's kind of like, he's silver spoons. You know what I'm saying? Do you want that guy with your X-Men team? Do you want Wolverine to have to deal with that? He doesn't even have any power at that point. The X-Men don't only operate on Earth. I'm just saying that. Although he was an Olympic soccer hopeful in his native country, Brazil, before his powers manifested themselves. And he did recently lead the effort to retrieve Cannonball and bring him back from Shi'ar space. So he is resourceful. He can get things done. He hitched a ride with the Starjammers. He got a team together, and he went and brought his buddy back. So I'll give him that. The guy can get things done. He's smarter than he looks. Last but, probably least, we've got Tempo, Heather Tucker. She can manipulate time itself, though only in her immediate vicinity, and she can also fly by unknown means. Not really sure how that happens. All right, here's the thing. She is a founding member for the Mutant Liberation Front. That is a terrorist organization. That essentially disqualifies her in my mind. I do not want a terrorist on my X-Men team. Beast might want a terrorist on the X-Men team. Why doesn't he recruit her over to X-Force if she seems to fall right in line with what Beast is doing? I don't think this is X-Men, team material. If you want to vote for Heather Tucker, Tempo, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with you. She's a terrorist. She is a terrorist, people. You cannot be voting for that person. I don't know. Who are you guys voting for in this X-Men debate? Who are you voting for in this election? Who's going to be your representative on the X-Men team? This is the first time it's ever been done before. I want to tell you who I'm voting for, but he might be Native American. And he might be the best, most well-rounded candidate available. He might be a star athlete. He might be a trained soldier. He might have powers of the magical realm. And he might be able to make cool inventions and be super smart. I don't know who you're going to vote for. There you go. Those are your candidates, people. Make your voices heard. Obviously, the polls open on 27 January at midnight Eastern. Going to be rolling through to February. There will be a link to the website for when the polls open. If they've already opened when you watch this, go there and check it out and go click and, vote for Forge. He's literally the only worthy candidate. Just put it out there.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. I would appreciate it very much. It helps us attract more views for the channel. Subscribe for future commentary, comic book news, and reviews. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. If you want to talk comics, movies, and much, much more, you can follow me on Twitter at Wes_from_TC. With that, Salamat Po, and I'm out.